Feminism is out, women's oppression is in. According to the Democrats, I guess. The socialist mayor of Seattle, Katie Wilson, posted this photo with the caption, "Honored to attend Eid celebration this week and spend time with so many wonderful community members and families. I'm grateful for the opportunity to celebrate alongside residents who help make our city vibrant, welcoming, and strong. Wishing peace, happiness, and blessings to everyone celebrating Eid." Where's the women? This is suicidal empathy in a photo. I'll tell you where the women is. Men and women are gender segregated. The women pray behind the men. Why? So men aren't distracted or tempted by women. And if you zoom into this photo, they're laughing at her. They're laughing at her. Zoom into the crowd and you see the men making fun of her. And in her speech that she gave, she's like, "Oh, it's so great seeing the families."
It is so great to see so many community members here from around Seattle and around our region, and also to see so many children here, so many families.
Where are the families? Where the fuck are the families? It's all men. Where are the feminists fighting for equality here? Nowhere to be found. What is she talking about? What is she talking about, the families? It's just all men. Or what about when AOC was giving her speech for Eid in New York with Mom Donnie, and she was completely ignored and disrespected by the men? They're totally talking over her. They don't care. They don't care what she has to say because she's a woman. And why would they care what she has to say? Because she is a woman. And in their culture, they don't care what women have to say. It's like, not me saying this. This is them. This is their culture. They created it, not me. You can't shoot the messenger here. And again, it's all men. There's not a woman in sight. And then I find it so rich that she covers her hair for the men. What happened to my body, my choice, AOC? Why isn't she fighting for the women who have been killed in Muslim majority countries for not properly wearing a hijab? This ideology and way of life is literally killing women across the world for improper dress. A dress code that's been set by men, and AOC embraces it and celebrates it like she's on some moral high ground of tolerance and acceptance. She's so tolerant, she's tolerating abuse and an inferior way of life. And yes, inferior, because men who beat or kill women for not wearing a hijab is an inferior culture, in my opinion. Men who tell women what they can and cannot wear is not a culture I want to invite in and tolerate. We should all be united on that. All of America should agree on that. All of the Western world should agree on that. But instead, we have liberals calling me, the messenger, the people calling it out, intolerant or racist for saying it, for pointing out the truth. There is no amount of gaslighting that can be done to convince me that this, a burqa, a hijab, and a niqab, is a woman's choice. That this is liberating for women. Nothing can be said to me to make me believe that this is what we should accept. If you're a woman blessed with freedom of choice, freedom of dress, freedom of religion in the West, and you want to celebrate this and disguise it as tolerance, you don't understand the fight and sacrifice it took to get our freedoms. You don't stand with women. You don't care about liberating women. You care about virtue signaling. And this is exactly what suicidal empathy is. Shout out to Gadzad. Read his book, Suicidal Empathy, Dying to be Kind. It's not an ad. I just think the entire Western world should be forced to read this book because it's what we're seeing happen. We're seeing misdirected empathy that prioritizes feelings, compassion, or displays of kindness, which is crazy because that's what AOC thinks she's doing, is being kind. And then I'm evil for calling it out. That's how their brain works, because it's over reason, logic, self-preservation, or thinking through long-term societal consequences that will ultimately harm the empathizer or society, because it will. Inviting this type of culture and way of life into the free world will harm women first. One of my best friends from my time in London was raised Muslim in Albania. And she always tells me, Avery, you don't understand how the culture chips away at women. Growing up, my brother, her brother, got to go outside and play on the street and she didn't. He got to go to the market and she didn't. He had all these privileges that she didn't have growing up. And as a kid, you don't understand why. You just know, you come to know your place in society. And she explains it to me that from birth, she was designed to feel small and insignificant as a woman. And it didn't matter what she wanted to do because she was a girl. So she wasn't listened to. And that's just the norm. And then when her family moved to England, they actually ended up converting, but they weren't able to beforehand out of fear of honor killings, whole nother topic, or being completely cut off from their family and friends and everyone they know, which did happen. People love to say I'm racist and hateful, or there's an unfair demonization of the Muslim community. They're under attack because of the rhetoric I help spew. No, I'm not demonizing all Muslims or migrants. I've been a migrant. When I was living in England, I embraced England and I fell in love with English culture. I didn't try to change it. I celebrated it. I want England to be made up of English people. I want France to have French people in it. I want Spain to be Spanish because that is their family history that made the country what it is. I want the people with roots and ties to their culture to be there. I don't want them replaced. Just like I want Nigeria to be made up of Nigerians, or Senegal to have the Senegalese, or Japan to have Japanese people in it. I want to celebrate and preserve what makes our cultures unique everywhere. That is true respect for a culture. Tolerance for people trying to actively change a culture through mass migration is not respecting the history or sacrifice made by previous generations or the hardworking citizens of today. It's erasing it and likely replacing it with one that's not as good. Not all cultures are equal. I don't like a culture that legalizes child marriage. I don't like a culture that doesn't celebrate femininity or oppresses women. I don't like a culture that doesn't have what we consider in the West to be basic freedoms: freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of dress. We're unique in the West. We're an anomaly if you spend time studying history. And I want to preserve that instead of handing it over to people who have not fought to liberate their societies, which is what will happen in the name of tolerance. It's what the Democrats are doing. This is the road we are going down.